Hello and welcome to the Gamers Academy YouTube channel. My name is Outlandish and I played this game competitively for 4 years, but I decided to retire recently, become a coach, and partner up together with Gamers Academy to provide you guys education content to make you the best players you want to be. If you want to book with me or one of my colleagues individual coaching sessions, you can visit us on gamers-academy.com. You can find the homepage in the description below. And on top of that, you can use this code to save up to 10% for the first session you will book with us. In this episode, we'll talk about the Taliyah rework. Same as Olaf or Swain, the champion got changed, and we will talk about how it affects the champion and the meta. All of that in the upcoming video. As I already said in the intro, today we will talk about the Taliyah rework and how it affects the champion and the current meta. If you want to look up all the base stats, everything that got changed, I will link you in the description below the patch 12.9 because a lot of stats of her got changed. But just as a summary, the most important factors are that her Q is doing AoE damage again against monsters, which is something they deleted some patches ago, a while ago actually. And her W is casting faster now, but it deals no damage. And her E is dealing more damage, and champions that are dashing through this E are getting stunned. And I think this is a huge change, and this is why Taliyah is again in the discussion. Before we talk about her efficiency as the champion right now, let's have a look on the runes. I think there are not that much variation between mid lane and jungle. It's just about, like, in mid lane, obviously, you have more lane-centric runes, something like Cookies and Time Warp Tonic, and in jungle, you're playing her with Dark Harvest instead of Electrocute. And yeah, the runes are not that, there's not that much difference between those two roles, but I think the biggest important factor are the item builds. After Mythic, it's really situational what you need to build. If you want to go for flat damage or penetration, is up to the game state and the enemies that you're playing against and role in your team, but the most important factor is actually the Mythic item. If you're playing against a lot of melee champions that can engage into you, I would recommend you to build Everfrost because you're having more CC and more self peel, gives you more tankiness. And if you're playing against a lot of ranged champions where you need to poke, I would recommend you to build Luden's Echo, just more comfortable for you to change between those two mythics, so you have two different play styles you can adapt to based on the enemies you're playing against. And this is really interesting why we're talking about Taliyah because of the 12.9 patches, that she's an AP jungler, which is kind of rare at the moment. We have only Lilia and Karthus, which are mostly seen in the jungle. And she fits really well, if you remember, to the meta I explained to you from push and roam and mid laners that we have, like, since ages, basically a meta where we have a lot of mid laners that like to push and roam on side lane, especially in competitive, that they like to dive side lane or assist their jungler in early skirmishes. And this is basically the nature of the champion, what Taliyah brings in her kit. She's really mobile with her passive. She can, like, rotate between the map, through the map really fast. And this is why she is really strong now again, especially with the new stats she gained and with the new spells she has. And this is why she's really strong currently in the meta. That's why I would assume that in competitive, we will see it in the upcoming ERL and LEC that Taliyah will most likely be picked up a lot and being flexed in mid lane and jungle. I know that some people like to play her on support, but I would say that her most efficient roles are jungle and mid lane currently. And yeah, for mid lane, as I said, it's really obvious she can push really fast just because her Q is dealing AoE damage again against monsters. So she can push really fast and rotate, help assist her jungle and skirmishes. And in jungle, she's fitting the role pretty well, that we don't have that much AP junglers currently. And if we play something mid lane-ish that's 80, something like Yone, Lucian, Aria, something like mid lane and AP jungler is needed in the draft. So Taliyah jungler could be really effective. And especially as soon as she's a flex pick in the draft, she has a more competitive relevance. That's why she's back. She has an extreme strong spike. She deals a ton of damage with her updated stats. She has really a nice item path. So you can adapt her with, like, building Everfrost or Luden's Echo, just judging by the enemy comp. So she's not even only flexible in the draft, she's as well really flexible in her playstyle. We have a lot of engaged champions currently, something like Wukong in the jungle, which we see a lot. We have a lot of Nautilus, a lot of engaged supports currently in the meta. So her E is basically countering all of that. And I think this is something that gives Taliyah in general more relevance again in the meta. And I think She's in general just a really, really nice champion to have because she can create a lot of plays with her ultimate. It's something we didn't address yet in the video, that her ultimate is just a really nice ability that is kind of not the same as Twisted Fatal, because it's more Twisted Fatal, it's more direct and gives you obviously vision, but it just gives you the ability to create plays on side lane, to create a wall on choke points, to zone people out around objectives if you're playing for Nash and Drake. So this is a champion that will have, my opinion, is just my prediction, that she will have a lot of relevance in the upcoming meta. And just for the competitive players, I think it's really necessary that people will pick her up on mid lane and jungle. I think this gives you a clear advantage in draft. And even for solo queue, this champion is super fitting because she has an insane high amount of mobility. She has an insane amount of damage. She has really, really good spikes and a lot of self-peel as well if you're building against a lot of melee champions, if you're building Everfrost. So you have so much flexibility in the champion, not only competitive-wise, but even in solo queue. And you can already see, based on the pick rate in solo queue, that a lot of people will pick her up and give this champion attention. For me, it makes me really happy because I'm a big connoisseur of AP junglers, and she's definitely fitting right now on the meta because of her dynamic as a champion and her kit. So enjoy playing this champion. Let me know in the comments what you think about the changes. Thanks for watching this episode on Gamers Academy YouTube channel about the Taliyah rework. We would appreciate if you like, subscribe, and activate the bell on our channel, and leave us a comment, some feedback about the content we are creating, or discuss with me about the topic, how the champion changes affects the meta and how Taliyah can be played in the future. If you want to discuss about that in depth with me or one of my colleagues, join our official Discord server. You can find the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.